Hello, everyone, and welcome to this midweek message here on November 8th. I'm Pastor Aaron Holmgren at Salem Lutheran Church, and I welcome to Salem. So a couple of things going on here. We have our faith formation every Wednesday night, as well as our choir rehearsals. That includes vocal and bell choir. So if you're interested in joining any of that, faith formation is done in partnership with St. Stephen's. So you can bring along a kiddo and experience that aspect of worship and study together. And then if you want to sing or play bells, you can come over here at Salem and participate in those events as well. We also have the art fair coming up this Sunday after worship from 11 to 1 o'clock. There's a quilt being auctioned off. There's, I think, a premiere of a new children's book. There's a lot of really cool things that are being offered at the art fair in Salem's Fellowship Hall this Sunday. So put that on your calendars and make sure to swing by. We also have our Thanksgiving Eve service, which it will be that Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And there's going to be pie afterwards, so you are invited to that as well. And then we're on into the thick of it, really, with Advent, Christmas Eve, and beyond. I mean, it's kind of a sprint here in the last 2 months, and we've been doing so many amazing things already that I'm just grateful for the year we've had and excited to the way in which 2023 will wrap up. So with that in mind, we are also coming to the end of our lectionary, that set of readings that we experience on worship every Sunday, including first, second, and gospel. And we read the Psalms during the Wednesday morning. So if you've been missing the Psalms, you can come to the Wednesday morning worship. But so with the wrapping up of the lectionary, we get traditionally these parables at the end of Jesus's teaching ministry when he's at the temple during Holy Week. And he does these string of parables that are very kind of end times related. They speak of the coming kingdom, the final judgment, and it kind of is the way that we wrap up a year in the church. We've done the birth of Christ, we've done the revelation of Christ as the incarnation, we've done the ministry, the death, the resurrection, the life of the church, and now we look beyond. But with all that in mind, when we hear all these texts about the end times, about final judgments, I think our mind does run to what in the world is going on today in our world, with the trials and tribulations that we are witnessing, with the incredible amounts of violence that is occurring around the world, and the ways in which we either turn a blind eye or actively fuel the flames. And it can be tempting to say, well, let's chalk this up for the end times and not worry about it. It's a very cynical way of looking at it, but it's something that some churches thrive on, where they push this agenda of end times. We're living in the last days. These are the signs. Get ready for the coming glory. And I think there's a more biblical response to that. The parables that we hear are about being ready, about staying awake. But it also emphasizes that there is no way in which we know what time or what day. It's like a thief in the night. That's why we're called to keep awake, to keep the light burning. And so the life of the church, ever since day one, with the ascension of Christ, we have been in the end times. It's a different way of looking at it, but ever since Christ left, we do not know when Christ will return, and that means we're in the final days. And with that in mind, it makes this this hectic way of looking at preparing for the final days and this kind of the sprint that is pushed on people. It doesn't make as much sense. We're running a race that's far more of a marathon, and it's pacing, and it's about carrying the gospel with each step we take. And so, regardless of the signs of the times, the trials and tribulations that we face, we are not off the hook. We carry the light, we continue to love, we carry the faith, and we proclaim it as often as we can in word and deed, so that those who encounter us see the light of Christ, and that we can minister to Christ in the stranger, in the hungry, in the poor, in the downtrodden, in our neighbors, and in ourselves. So, take care of yourself, fuel the faith, and we wait for the Lord. Glory be to God. Amen.